Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I said hey. Welcome back to my channel. Hey y'all, I'm Jazmyn W. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Y'all know I love to jump right into it, but first I must let you know if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, baby, you are really missing out on all the laughs and the fun we have on my channel, okay? It's February. I was about to say it's January, and I'm getting back into the groove of creating content and everything. So stick around for more. Not only Married at First Sight, Ready to Love, but other things, life updates and things like that. I'm going to be getting into on my channel.
Girl.
Now, I always start with a Black business that I love. I received some items from this Black business, Her Secret Garden, right? So they make, if you follow me on Instagram, I already talked about this on my Instagram story because I do this thing called Unboxing with Jazz. If you don't follow me on Instagram, baby, what are we doing and why are we doing it, y'all? On every social media platform, I really do try to offer something different. So I do Unboxing with Jazz on my Instagram stories, and Her Secret Garden sent me some stuff. This is Black owned company that makes coochie products.
Coochie.
Now, I don't use coochie products myself. Let me know if you want me to make a video about why I don't use coochie products. But really, honestly, I don't even have to make a video about that. Just ask your local gynecologist why you Anyway, but they did send me some other products along with the coochie products that I've given away to one of my followers on Instagram, one of my supporters. I like to say supporters more so. Anyway, I did keep the feminine yoni oil that they send me. That's my business.
Okay.
Like Tabitha Brown would say. But they also sent me some Love Body oil. And their products, just the thought that went into the packaging and everything, y'all, it was just absolutely just beautiful packaging. And I could tell from the website before I even allowed them to send me stuff that they really cared. And the owner also messaged me and told me that she has a very sensitive coochie, and she uses everything that they make. So look how hydrated I am after using that body oil, and it smells like lemongrass. So if you like all natural plant-based products for your body and your coochie, check out Her Secret Garden. I'm going to be putting the website below so that you guys can check them out and support them.
It's bomb.
So yeah, this is Ready to Love, the episode that came out, the most recent episode that came out February the 3rd. We are in Miami, and I did take some notes per usual. I had lost some of my notes, but I'm glad I found them in my notebook or whatever. So let's get into it. This episode, at the top of the episode, Corvaya got eliminated. She said, if he wants me, she's talking in reference to Demario. She said if Demario, wants to continue the journey with her, she was basically insinuating that they don't have to be on the show to do that. But I was just wondering, why didn't Demario save her?
Right.
I guess none of the other guys wanted her to be on the show, and they decided not to use the save a hoe token.
He was fighting to use
that
it.
They get from nephew Tommy's tabernacle token. They couldn't use it on Corvea because the other guys didn't want to use it on her. They wanted her to leave. So yeah, that was the end of Corvea's road. At the end of the day, Corvea seems really nice and beautiful, and she's young, so I'm sure she'll find somebody in the future.
With money.
Next, they went to the Hard Rock Hotel, and yeah, I wrote down that they was actually really talking about a whole bunch of nothing. I remember Marcia and some of the other girls were having a conversation saying, oh, I'm Beyonce. I'm a little bit of Beyonce, Kelly, and Michelle. I'm a little bit of Rihanna. I'm Carrie Hilson. Okay.
I'm Sierra.
Is this the kind of conversations you guys have on dates? I mean, the guys have no idea what you're talking about. They're not interested. And I don't know. I guess y'all just be talking about anything. But I wrote down, ain't nobody talking about nothing.
My goodies.
Anyway, then we get to Blake and Sue-Ann. Blake and Sue-Ann had a little private conversation. And Sue-Ann brought up the fact that Jeffrey came up to her talking to her about Blake and what was said in Nephew Tommy's tabernacle. I wrote down, Sue-Ann, is this about y'all or is this about Jeffrey?
Jeffrey.
Because this is the, third time we're going to see you talk to Blake or the fourth time we're going to see Blake have a conversation about somebody he's not even interested in, apparently. So why are we still talking about her? Let's move on and talk about something different.
I know I would.
At some point she did. But I wrote down Blake is so boring. Like I've said this in a couple of my past reviews. I think Blake is good looking, yeah. But as soon as he opens his mouth, baby, it goes downhill from there.
Ugly.
And that's unfortunate. But that's typically how it happens, right? I'm just very thankful that I was very awkward looking until I got to, 16 or 17 years old or something like that. That's why I have personality. Anyway, Blake is very boring. Sue-Ann is actually also very boring, but I think that Sue-Ann, there's something about her that tells me that once you get to know her, she is probably really easygoing, easy to talk to. Blake, he doesn't really seem that way, from my point of view. And we learned in this episode that he is a military man, and he does corporate security. So he probably just doesn't know that he doesn't have a good personality because he's had so much, military and
Police.
And all of that sort of training.
Police.
Anyway.
Police.
Cynthia and Anthony also sat down once again. They hit it off the last episode. And Cynthia, once they went on their date, Anthony got there after her and he came around the corner and Cynthia said, "That boy looked good." And I said, "Does he?"
Okay. Let me know, honey. I saw something different.
Anyway, they both said that they're looking forward to marriage. Cynthia complimented Anthony a few times on his suit and the way that he looked. And that's all I wrote down. Anyway.
Yeah, that's it.
Jeffrey and Demario, let's get to the juicy stuff. Jeffrey and Demario went on a date. And Demario really seemed, he didn't really seem interested in being on the date with Jeffrey. So I'm wondering why he even showed up. We didn't know that Jeffrey and Demario actually didn't speak at all on the boat, even before the kiss. I don't know if the kiss happened initially when they first got on the boat, if it happened later. We don't know the sort of the timeline for how things happen on the show. But Demario didn't chat with Jeffrey on the boat at all. And Demario was like, you know what I'm talking about, like whatever you did on the boat. And Jeffrey was like, what did I do? And he was like, yeah, you kissed somebody, and she was like, okay, well, what was I supposed to do? It's a game. He was like, you could have rejected them.
Boy, bye.
Why would I? Let me put my hair down. Demario, he needs help.
A clown.
He needs help.
Homie the clown.
He has insecurities mixed with some misogyny and low self-esteem. Because if you think that I'm going to reject a kiss from somebody that I'm interested in, I'm trying to see if we have a connection. It's a kiss. We didn't even use tongue. It's a kiss on the lips. If you think I'm going to reject a kiss from someone that I'm interested in to save face for people at home because my kids might see me kiss someone, or for you, then you are dumb and delirious, okay?
DD.
Why would she reject a kiss from Mark Anthony if she's interested in him? That's going to give Mark Anthony the idea that maybe she's not interested in him. And he came over to kiss her, and she's interested in him, so she did it. What is the big deal? I don't understand what the big deal is. Like,
What planet are you living on?
I guess you're interested in a woman who doesn't show affection to people that she might be interested in. But do you know how many first dates you go on and you might kiss, you might not? Second dates, you might kiss, you might not. You're just trying to see if you guys have a connection. There's nothing wrong with it. And the fact that he tripped over it, to me, is just like, loser. Let me know what you guys think. I think it was, I just think he's a real loser.
Clown.
He says, I'm not mad about it. Obviously you're mad. You are pissed off. You are mad. And he said he just doesn't understand why you would kiss somebody you're not into. She's into him. What's your problem? Like, what's not clicking with you, Steven? Like, I don't understand.
He's dumb and delusional. Next.
Demario said, what would you say to your kids once they see you on TV kissing a stranger? To me, the better question is, what do I say to my kids sitting on TV arguing with a grown man who is not my man about the fact that I kissed somebody during a game that we played on TV on a dating show?
That part.
What would I say to my kids about having to explain myself to you, honey? That's what I'm more embarrassed about, because I want to teach my kids, honey, baby, first of all, if you did something and you didn't do anything wrong and you felt like it was the right thing to do, and you want to kiss somebody and it's just harmless, and just a kiss on the lips, baby, don't explain that to nobody, especially if they're not your man. Don't explain it to somebody, some stranger.
Period.
Okay? So I would be explaining that to my kids versus explaining kissing somebody. Please, kissing Mark Anthony. Mark Anthony cute, and you mad because you thought you was gonna be the cutest dude on the show. Sit down, big bug eyes. Okay.
Girl, what? Okay.
Anyway, did I take it too far? Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Then Demario said that he is, forgetting about Jeffrey because she kisses random men and he hasn't seen her without makeup. When do you think you're going to see me without makeup if we're dating?
After sex.
We've been on a couple of dates. When are you going to see me without makeup?
Explain that.
You can tell that Jeffrey is just naturally beautiful woman. She doesn't wear a ton of makeup.
At all.
So how different do you think she's going to look without makeup? And do you guys not understand the misogynoir associated with not seeing me without makeup, as if I'm going to transform, as if me wearing makeup is some sort of cover up or disguise? I wear makeup because it's fun. It enhances my beauty. It's artistic. I love the artistry behind it. I used to be a makeup artist. What does you seeing me with or without makeup have to do with anything?
Nothing.
Child, go to hell.
With gasoline draws.
Go to hell. Anyway, let's move on because I really got pissed off. I'm sorry, y'all. Anyway, let's move on to the date between Blake, Blue, Marcia, and Jeffrey. First of all, Marcia, is this about your journey, or are you so nosy that you have to figure out what's going on between Jeffrey and Blake?
She don't have a journey.
Because she thinks she has a connection with Blue, even though Blue already friend-zoned her. She thinks she has a connection with Blue, but you more worried about these two. Worry about your connection with Blue and less about these two, okay? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Anyway, I thought this was a really cute idea. For the second year in a row, me and my friends have had vision board parties. I threw the first one last year because I've been making vision boards at the top of the year in January for the past 3 or 4 years now. And they really kick my year off in the right direction and keep me motivated throughout the year. I hang my vision board up somewhere in my place where, I can walk by it every day. I wake up and look at it. So I really thought it was great that they were making vision boards and had to explain them because we do this in my friend group or whatever. Blake said that he put timepieces on his vision board because time is the most precious resource we have.
Okay.
Do y'all call watches timepieces?
Okay.
It's just like...
Not even rich people call them that.
Anyway.
It's lame.
I wrote down, that's ironic because I'm sure women have wasted a lot of time being in a relationship with you, Blake, or even dating you. I wrote down, Blue is so cool. I really like him. I felt the fact that he left the door open on his vision board was very creative. It's something that I would do. It was very cute. And I love the fact, even my mom said that Blue just seems like a guy who's just really down to earth, a normal guy who's down to earth. You know what I mean? Cool, calm, collected, not tripping, loves to travel and just have new experiences. Like I said last week, he tried the oyster and he was cool about it. And you know what? Like, Blue is actually probably, as far as the men go, the best catch on the show, to be honest. Like, he's just so cool and just so even and keel and just open to trying new things. His door is open. So I just think he's probably the best catch on the show.
Yep.
It's really shocking me to say that out loud. Anyway, I wrote down Blue and Jeffrey. I think they should definitely explore a relationship together because Blue has kids. Jeffrey has kids. They're both, Blue's about 10 years older than Jeffrey, but mentally Jeffrey is 10 years older than Blue, in fact. And I think they could be a better match than they would initially believe because they're so chill. So yeah. Anyway, let's move on to Morgan and Tony the Tiger.
Wait, he didn't growl.
I wrote down, what does Tony never looks like he has a haircut. I feel like that's how his hair look when he leave the barbershop. I'm like, how does his hair look freshly cut? Because we ain't seen it. We ain't seen a fresh lineup on the beard. We ain't seen a fresh cut. And you know, no shade. I know your hair grows and stuff like that, but it's been weeks now. We ain't seen him with a fresh cut not once.
And we ain't gonna see it.
But we've seen him with some fresh Beijing, but not a fresh cut. And I'm confused by it.
Girl, he got waves.
Morgan said that she could have had kids, I think is what she said, but she always felt like she was worth more than being a baby mama. The reality is at this point in my life, where I am right now in my life, I never thought I would be somebody's baby mama. And the reality is we are all worth more than being somebody's baby mama.
Preach.
Yeah. Don't get it twisted. Every single person who has a child is worth more than just being a baby mama. Period. Just throw that out there. Anyway, Morgan said that I'm tired of being alone. She's tired of peeing alone, breathing alone, and sleeping alone. Oh, I'm sorry. Tony said that. He tired of being alone, sleeping alone, breathing alone, peeing alone, walking alone, shopping alone, talking alone.
Pooping alone.
That's just something that men say. He ain't tired of being alone. Because he ain't alone. Hell, I'm sure he got company. Anyway, let's move on to the next date. Blake and Janique. Janique said, Blake, how do you feel about, where are you on this journey? And by the journey, I think she meant the show. And Blake said, when you ask me a general question, I can't give you a general answer.
And that's when I would have walked out on his ass.
What the hell does that mean? If Janique said, where are you on this journey? Are you close? I would say, well, maybe ask a follow-up question if you felt that the question was too general. If you feel like you can't give an answer, ask a follow-up question like, what do you mean? Are you talking about if I found the right person, if I'm enjoying the journey? Like, what, let me know what you meant by that.
Right.
But instead, you be an asshole to Janique because you don't understand the question and you don't understand how to ask a follow-up question if you don't understand the original. Child, I wrote down asshole, period. Yeah, he said he was a military police. He works in corporate security. Listen, y'all know I used to work in human resources. I've hired plenty of corporate security people. That used to be the division that I covered in the very large Fortune 500 company that I work for. And 9 times out of 10, those men are dry. I'm not even gonna lie to you, baby. They drier than the desert, honey.
Yeah.
They drier than your coochie before you use some of this lubrication oil. And Blake, honey, if you blow on Blake, honey, he'll blow away. He just dry like dust, honey. Can't stand him. I turned into a horse.
Okay, where's my stable, honey?
Anyway, I wrote down, Blake said there's too large of a gap in experience between him and Janique. Yeah, there's too large of a gap between not fun and fun as well, because Janique is very fun, easygoing, and he's very not fun and not easygoing. Very uptight, very tight, honey. And he didn't have any questions for her, which, if I was her, I think she was a little bit happy about that because she didn't waste time, energy, breath on him. And I'm not mad at it. Over the course of the seasons of Married at First Sight and Ready to Love, people who have been on the show have come across my videos. There are people from Ready to Love who follow me on Instagram and, everything like that. And I hope that Blake comes across my videos. And I know he's going to be watching them like this.
Exactly.
Because he looked like the type of man that want his dimple to pop out while he watching TV.
Okay, that's enough. Okay.
Anyway, let's move on to Nephew Tommy's Tabernacle. Jeffrey said, "Oh, Susu, you sound like you an advocate for the men."
Ooh.
To be honest, Sue Ann does sound like she's an advocate for the men. She asking about the men from the men's point of view. She spoke to the men. She's bringing their information back to Nephew Tommy's Tabernacle. She's an advocate for them. I like Sue Ann, but I like Jeffrey. I don't think what Jeffrey said was wrong.
It wasn't.
You know, every time we come together, you're talking about what the men said in their point of view. You sound like an advocate for them. That's what an advocate is.
She was advocating for them. Yep.
I wrote down Sue Ann is the Sue spy.
That wasn't funny.
But Sue Ann also said, you know, Jeffrey, it's giving obsessed. Once you get rejected, know how to handle rejection. Baby, I know you want it to be that Blake rejected Sue Ann really, really badly because it works better for your narrative, for your relationship with Blake. But the reality is Jeffrey rejected Blake.
Period.
She wasn't interested. And you went back and told him that.
So that he could forget about her.
That's what happened, as far as we can see on the show. Anyway, Jonique sat down with Demario because Demario was on the bottom, and Cynthia sat down with Blake. Cynthia said, I wrote down, Cynthia looked very cute. She had on some eyeliner. She doesn't wear a lot of eye makeup, and the eyeliner just showed us something different. It was a cute little pop for her eyes. She has big, beautiful eyes. And Cynthia told Blake to work on his delivery. Blake said that this was the most realist conversation he's had, I guess, while being on the bottom, that he's had with any other person. But you know what? My personal opinion is Cynthia has a lot of very strong energy about her. She's very forthcoming. Like, Cynthia is very upfront and straight to the point. She's very direct. She communicates in a way that a lot of men like to believe that they communicate, but they actually don't. But they like to believe that they communicate the way that Cynthia does. And I think that Blake is saying that this is the most realist conversation he's had with anybody because he actually respects Cynthia's tone. He respects the way that she communicates, and he didn't respect the other women.
Exactly.
This is not the realest conversation. I think lots of people, when Blake was in the bottom, told him, whether they told him gently or whether they told him straight up, they told him what the women were thinking and feeling, but he didn't respect them. And he respects Cynthia because of her tone. That's why I think it's really important to be who you are, especially when communicating with men in particular. Cis men, cisgendered, heterosexual men, they will make it seem as if a lot of the times they don't respect it when women are direct or women have too much masculine energy or whatever they call it. But the reality is they do respect it.
Facts.
You're gonna respect it. Trust me, I know. Again, I worked in human resources, and you know, that directness, that energy that you give them, that I'm not playing with your energy, they respect it. Point blank, period. Anyway, and then we have Demario and Jonique. Demario actually got eliminated. I didn't see this coming, but his only connection had already left the show. So I thought Blake was going to get eliminated, but he got to stay. Anyway, it was honestly a lose-lose because I want to see them both go home. But yeah, I wrote down Demario's trying to seem nice, but we already saw that you're a booty hole. And you can't come back from that because we see who you really are. And hopefully at the reunion, you talked about what you've learned. And I wrote down Jonique is so cute. Anyway, that was the end of that episode. I'm ready for some new singles to come into the room and spice things up. I've had enough of the people who are on the show. Let me know what y'all think. I want to know what you guys thought about Demario's comment about not having seen Jeffrey without makeup. I also want to know about what you guys think about Blake's conversation or date with Jonique. I wouldn't even call it a date, but that's what it was. Have you guys ever been on a date with somebody who just had a wall up and completely just, not open to getting to know you? I've never been on a date with...
Well, you've never been on a date, period.
I have never been on a date with somebody like that. I like to go on dates with people who are excited about dating me.
Elated.
Anyway, I know one last thing that you're thinking, Jazmyn, are you going to wear this show 17 times this year? Yes, I am.
The shirt.
I saw Usher in Vegas, and I paid a lot of money for this shirt. I'm wearing it every time I get on camera, okay? See y'all later. Bye.
Bye.